All right, now we're doing 7Q Last Survivor. This is by Schultzkoffer, and 92% of the people like it. So we're given a string of letters and an array of numbers. The numbers indicate positions of letters that may be removed, that must be removed in order, starting from the beginning of the array, all right? So after each removal, the size of the string decreases. There is no empty space. We're going to return the only letter left, all right? So on this one, we're removing whatever's at index 0 first, which is the Z, and now after that, we're taking whatever's at index 1, which is the K, and all that's left is B, and that's what we're going to return. All right. So on this one, we're just going to come over here and do concise syntax. We're going to say const last survivor equals letters, chords as the arguments, and then an arrow right here. We're going to come down here and say console.log so we can test while we go, and we're going to start right here. So first thing we should look at is what does letters look like. All right, it should look like something like this, but let's make sure. All right, it does, all right. And now for this, what we need to do is go through and delete whatever is at the coordinates, at the current index of the coordinates. All right, so to do this, we're going to use the reduce method. And if you don't know about the reduce method, it's the method that executes a user-supplied reducer callback function on each element of the array in order, passing in the return value from the calculation on the preceding element. And the final result of running the reducer across all elements of the array is a single value. But over here, the first time that the callback is run, there's no return value of the previous calculation. So if supplied, an initial value may be used in its place. So we're going to use an initial value of the letters. All right, so let me show you. First, let's come over here and let's do chords again instead. All right, let's test that out. So right, now we got 1, 1 for the first one right here. So let's reduce through that so that we can delete whatever is whatever's on letters at this at this index, and then once that's reset, we're going to delete whatever's at this index. All right, cool. So we're going to say chords.reduce, and over here we're going to let me show you about the syntax. So the syntax we're going to use is this accumulator and current value syntax for the arrow function syntax, right? And then we're going to have the arrow right here and then the expression right here. So let's come down here. We're going to say ACC for the accumulator, and then we're going to say cur for the current value, right? And then we're going to have the arrow right there. So right here, what we're going to do is we're going to delete whatever's at the accumulator by using the slice method, all right? So if you don't know about the slice method, it returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array into a new array object selected from start to end, where end is not included, and start and end represent the index of items in that array, and the original array will not be modified. That being said, we can like cut up to, like, let's say camel is the one we're trying to get rid of on the other one, right? So we can paste this stuff into a new array and this stuff into a new array, and it effectively gets rid of this thing, right? And then we'll just do it again and again. Like, let's say bison's the next to leave. We put this one in and these two in, and then whatever, all right? So over here, first things first, let's put the initial value, which is going to be letters, all right? And then we're going to say acc for the accumulator dot slice, and then we're going to go from 0 all the way up to we're going to go from 0 all the way up to the current index, all right? And then we're going to say plus, and then we're going to do acc.slice, and we're going to say current value plus 1 on, all right? So that way this one, whatever's at the current value, doesn't get added to the new X accumulator. So we're going to say +1 right here. All right. And that should do it, actually. Let's test it out. A, B, B, Z, Z, C, C, all this, D, D, just like that. All right. So if you don't get it, let me go through this one more time, right? So we're gonna go to the 1. First we're doing this 1, right? And this accumulator is gonna be letters when it starts. So it's gonna say, go from, letters at 0 to letters at the current index, which is 1. So 1 right before it, because on slice, end is not included. So we're going to go with that, cut that off, and put it in a brand new, we're going to slice that off and put it in a brand new array. And then we're going to do the same for one right after the current one. And then we're going to go, and then now we've got that as the new initial value. And so it goes to the next one, and it does the exact same thing over and over and over and over again until there's only 1 left. All right. So let's get rid of this console.log right here. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Just read up on it about it. You'll figure it out at some point. I'm telling you. All right. There's that. It works. Attempt it and submit it. All right. So right here, we're doing a for loop with the splice method. And the splice method, I mean, you can go to the Indian and check it out. It's basically just rips out the one that they're at. It says go to this one and rip out only one of them, right? And then just keep going until it's 1 left, and then then basically turn it into turn whatever's left into a string. All right, you can just check out the rest of these. All right, let's go to mine. All right, very much like this, just me on this one. Best practice in my opinion, and we'll see you next time.